So today I have a video request where someone asked me how much money can you make from casino affiliate marketing. And obviously you can make everything from 0 to 100 million. So it's very subjective, but I think what he wanted to get at, or her, is, what's a reasonable amount you can make, maybe like in a year. So since I've been doing this for quite a while, what I'm going to give you is a rundown of approximately how much traffic you need in order to make money, how many players you have to send in order to make X amount of money. So I created an Excel sheet where I'm going to kind of crunch the numbers to see where we land. And this is going to be calculated on kind of a beginner site to an intermediate site, depending on how you calculate it. But it's also going to be pretty scalable because it's kind of a percentage number game kind of thing. So the more traffic you have, the more money you're going to have. So you can also like add a 0 to everything if you want, or remove a 0 to kind of assess where you're going to land. Let's go into the PowerPoint slide that I created, because if you're completely new to this, I also quickly want to go through what casino affiliate marketing is. And it's basically you have a partnership with an online casino because you are the affiliate, and where you earn a commission for referring players to the casino. Usually you have to send a player that's actually depositing money, and also more often than not, the player has to lose money in order for you to make money, but there are some exceptions for this. And usually this like built on a revenue share model. Like I said, the casino has to make money in order for you to make money, basically. So, and we do this by attracting players to our website that we have. Once again, I'm going to use my example website here that can kind of give you an overview of how a website can look like. This is pretty basic. I only added 3 casinos here, but you can add how many you want. So we want people to come to this website. Maybe they can read some about the casinos, but mainly we want them to go to the casino. And here in this button, there's a tracking link that takes you, or the player, to the actual casino. And if they deposit money in this casino, the casino is going to know that the player came from your website, basically. And you do this by optimizing your website for the search engine through a method called SEO, which is search engine optimization. And basically you just create a lot of good content and you add like certain keywords on your website, which is just basically words. Let's say the main keyword on this page, for example, is new online casinos, new UK online casino sites. You want people to Google this, and then they find your website in the search results, and then they click here, and then you make money. So it's kind of like the concept is pretty basic. And then you also have to find casinos to work with. This is pretty easy to do. I usually recommend people to just put up some casinos on your website, even if you don't have like a deal with them, to make other casinos think that you have casinos on your site already. And then you kind of just replace them with casinos that you actually have deals with. So that's pretty clever, I think. So I don't work with these guys. I just put them up here for fun. This is just a staging website. You cannot do anything here. So the casinos have affiliate programs that you're going to join to get access to your platform, to get access to your tracking links that you put into your call to action buttons here. Pretty quickly on that. You also have different types of casino affiliate deals, which is pretty important to know. Like I said, the most common one is a revenue share deal where you get like a percentage of the revenue generated by the players. So the only way for a casino to generate revenue is if the player loses money. But also keep in mind that even if the player wins money, you never have to pay a player. That's totally up to the casino. This can go between 20 to 50%. Like 20 is very low. Then we also have a cost per acquisition deal, which is a CPA deal. Doesn't really matter how much the player deposits. You're only going to get a fixed payment from the casino. So let's say you have a player that deposits 20 euro, you can get between 50 and 20 euro. But also if he deposits 6,000 euro, you're still going to get like this fixed sum, which can be good in some cases. The best one, I think, is the hybrid deal, where you can get a mix of both. For example, you can get 50% revenue share plus 50 euro per player that you send. I'm going to go through this a bit more soon. We also have some kind of branch terms, which is no negative carryover, which basically means that if you have a very negative balance on a casino for 1 month, let's say you had a lot of winners and your revenue is like minus 500 euro, that's going to be reset every new month. So this is very important to incorporate in your deals so that you have this non-negative carryover, because otherwise you have to make up for the previous month before you can actually start making any money with this casino. We have separate funds, which is basically you separate the revenue share and the CPA so that the CPA cannot interfere with, for example, a negative revenue share. A baseline is a baseline that needs to be met in order to trigger the CPA. Usually it's like 20 euro. So you cannot have a player deposit 1 euro and then you make 100 euro. So then have to deposit at least 20 euro. We also have listing fees and monthly flat fees. This is going to happen when you have a kind of a bigger site. So listing fees is something that the operator is paying if they want to get listed on your website. And it has nothing to do with how many players you're sending. They have to pay like a one-time payment in order to just be listed on your website. This can be everything between, 200 euro to 2,000 euro. A monthly flat fee is something that a casino can pay for a fixed position on your website. Usually, let's say they want to buy position 1 on a website for like monthly. That can also be between like 500 to like 10,000 euro a month, depending on how big your website is. And also like understanding the net revenue and admin fees, because the thing you're going to see in the affiliate portals is the net revenue. This is everything that is calculated after the casino has removed some admin fees. For example, it can be bonus fees, it can be promotion fees, it can be like jackpot fees, it can be a lot of things. But the name for all of these is kind of admin fees. Usually it's between 0 to like 35 sometimes. So let's say you have 50% revenue share and they have a 35% admin fee. You're actually not going to get an effective 50% on this deal. It's going to be more like, I don't know, 35. Let's see, maybe. And the last one, you actually don't make any money from a casino until you actually get the money, you receive the money. That's pretty important to know, because it happens sometimes that a casino is not paying you. They like go bankrupt, or they just like, I don't know, they just don't pay you for some reason. So this is very important to also have a system in place to actually get the casino to pay you. Yeah, we went through these slides maybe a bit too fast, like always, but the fun part is starting now. We're going to go here and we're going to, I started with this one. This is a deal example that I created. It's 50% revenue share, 50 euro CPA, no negative carryover, separate funds, baseline 20 and threshold 500. And this is like something that I usually make the casino or the affiliate manager agree on before we start, to have no question marks anywhere on like what the deal actually is. So you can read here what this means. 50% revenue share of all the net revenue, including admin fees, 50 euro cost per acquisition, no negative carryover, CPA and revenue share calculated at separate funds, like I see here, separate funds. And also the baseline 20 is have to be cumulative, which means that if the first deposit 10 euro and then they deposit 10 more euro, it has to trigger the CPA. And also the threshold is when the casino has to pay you, basically. So if you only make 400 euro a month on a casino, do you have to kind of wait another month until you meet this threshold? It's pretty important to know. It also varies depending on what type of method you prefer to get paid. For example, if it's a bank wire, usually it's higher. If it's in crypto, it's usually lower. I also want to talk about a ladder deal, which is like shit, is the worst deal you can ever have. So video slots are known for having the worst deals ever. They're actually a pretty good converting casino, but their deals are so bad. For example, the CPA here, the number of new players calendar each month. If you send 1 to 5 players, you get 5 euro per new player. And it's like, is nothing. It's so funny. And I mean, if you send 48 plus players to a casino, which is an amazing number, you get 25. I mean, this is so low. You see a revenue share for all active players on a hybrid deal is 5%. And like, I mean, this is so bad. So every time you start working with casino, never agree on this ladder deal. Always push them to give you a better deal, because they will always agree on a deal that is not like this. Never agree on a deal that is like 50% for the first 3 months and then you kind of get added on one of these ladder deals. You don't want that. Ever, ever, ever. Yeah, so example of video slots here. Perfect. Okay, let's go into the traffic. Because you need traffic in order to send players. So I'm going to use some traffic examples here. And I created a website, I think it was like from December here. And this website is averaging around 50, or not really, maybe like 50 clicks a day. So I'm going to use it as an example. Yeah, I created this website not long ago. I have other websites that has been around for like 3 months that has way more traffic. Just to show you that I'm not full of shit, I have a website with a lot more traffic. So let's say we have daily traffic of 50 organic visitors. This is visitor coming from Google. We also have to understand that a visitor is not just a visitor. If you have a visitor coming to you from a keyword that is no deposit free spins, they have no intention of actually depositing any money. But if you have a player coming from new online casinos, for example, or high casino bonus, they actually are more prone to do a deposit. So that traffic is way more valuable. Also, traffic coming from certain countries, from Scandinavia, for example, that traffic is way more valuable than traffic from Argentina or Venezuela, for example. I usually calculate that if you have 50 organic visitors a day, that is, you get 5 signups a day. That's usually how I calculate it. Daily FTDs, usually have around 20% conversion rate, which is like signups to FTDs. Like an FTDs is first depositing player, or this is like a player that actually makes a deposit. Let's say there's a 1 a day, which is good. So that means that your monthly traffic is going to be 1,500 organic visitors. So your monthly signups is going to be 150. And your monthly FTDs is going to be 30 for a month. This is just for one website. You can have many websites. So basically, if you have 2 similar websites, you can actually like double this amount. So we're going to use an example. We're going to have 30 casinos on this website, on this made-up website. So casinos 1 to 10. We have casinos 11 to 20. We're going to have casinos 21 to 30. And we're going to have different deals with these casinos. So with this first one, we're going to have a 50% revenue share. 50% revenue share. And the casinos 11 to 20, we're going to have a hybrid deal, which is going to be 50 euro and 30% revenue share. And last one, we're going to have a CPA of 100 euro. So if you kind of try to divide these 1,500 players to these 30 casinos, it's going to be 50 signups, and 50 signups for these. And so the FTD amount is going to be 10 each, right? And also we have something called quality FTDs, and these are the FTDs that actually trigger the baseline. It's important for the hybrid deal and for the CPA deal, but it doesn't matter for the revenue share deal. So let's say we have a pretty good numbers, 8 each, because the other 2 is not going to trigger the CPA. And now we're going to calculate an average deposit. So actually going to give you an example of deposit distribution, because this is pretty interesting. We're going to have one player depositing 20, one other player depositing 20, another player depositing 10, another player depositing 60, and then we have a player that is depositing 230 throughout the whole month, not just like one deposit. 80, another one is doing, 10. Then we have one guy that is doing 600, another one is doing 70. Then we have one that is doing 900, because this is how it works. You're not going to have a well-distributed deposit amount. It's always going to look like this. You're going to have a lot of these small ones, then all of a sudden you're getting like a bigger one. But you're only, like I said, you're only going to get money from the net revenue. So we're going to calculate like how much they're going to win and lose this month. Let's say these guys are winning nothing, but he's losing everything. This guy is also like winning nothing, but he's losing everything. And this guy is winning nothing. Whoops. But he loses only 10. And this guy, he wins 100. And he loses nothing. The next guy, he wins nothing. But he only plays for like 140. And this guy wins nothing. And he loses nothing because he hasn't started playing yet this month. He just did a deposit and then he just kind of left. This guy, he wins 50. And he loses nothing. This guy wins nothing. And he loses everything. And this guy, he wins 150. And he loses nothing. This guy, he wins nothing. And he loses almost everything, 700. So here we can see the deposits. I do like this. I'll actually learn how to do, wait. So we have a deposit amount of 2,000 euro. And here we have a win of 300, right? And here we have a total loss of 1,500. So perfect. So here, this is the net revenue. It's going to go up here soon. So let's calculate the average deposit here. So the average deposit is going to be, like 200, right? And the total deposit is going to be 2,000. So it's going to be the same for these guys. Yeah, and also the net revenue is going to be the same, right? Shapa. No. And so you see here, and on this one we have 50% revenue share. So we're going to make 700. I didn't account for any of admin fees or anything now, but for these guys we're going to make 50%, right, from the net revenue. So this is 750. We make nothing from the CPA, so we get a total revenue of 750. Right? So here we have 8 qualified FTDs. So that's going to be 8 times 50, which is going to be 400. 30% revenue share. So let's make it easy and just put 500 here. And here we have no revenue share because this is only CPA, and we have 8 qualified FTDs. So this we're going to make 800 from this. So then we have a total revenue here of 900, right? And here we have, so you can see it's pretty evenly distributed. So then we have a total net revenue of, let's see, 2,450, right? I mean, we can calculate this also. It's like 1,250 and 1,200. So this is like our total inflow revenue. The total inflow is actually, you know, the total deposits, which is 6,000. The casino gives you 2,450, right? And the casino gets 4,500 from their net revenue. Right? So they get 4,500 and pay you like half of it. So it kind of makes sense, these numbers. So let's say my new website I created like 3 months ago, it's actually kind of making, let's say it makes 2.5K a month. It's good. And then you create like 4 of these websites, and then you make 10K a month. And also, like, I mean, let's say you add a 0 to all of this. You have 500 daily traffic. Then you're going to make 24K a month from this casino. So like I said, these are very doable numbers, like very doable numbers. And in a pretty short time frame, actually, you can make this pretty fast. So we can also do an example when the net revenue is 0 or even negative. Nothing happens to you, but you don't get any revenue share because you cannot get, I mean, 50% of 0 or even less is still, 0. So you only make money from the CPA then. But so that means that the casino is actually losing money on you. But what they want to do is that they are waiting for an affiliate to send them one really big player. That's how they make money. I heard from a friend that's actually an operator that said that they are making, 95% of their money from 5% of their players or something like this. And also, like I said, if you're adding a 0 here, it's going to be easy for you to charge the casinos flat fees, for example. So you're going to be able to charge them, like, in total, all of these 30 casinos, maybe 2, 3, 5K a month just for flat fees. So last thing is you can actually make net revenue from players from an earlier month. Let's say a player stays at a casino that you refer them to for 6 months. You're going to continue making money from this player, not just for the month that they sign up. It's going to be until perpetuity, until they actually stop playing or they stop depositing money or actually stop losing money. Yeah, so this is my calculations, and I hope this video made sense to you. And if it didn't make sense to you, maybe you can rewatch it, or I can make another video that is even more simplified. But I think this is kind of rough numbers, and I'm pretty proud that I got pretty close to what I think is actually reachable. So let me know what type of videos you want me to do, and I'll see you in the next one.